Hi, I'm Stargate Pioneer.
And I'm Steven Jondrew, and we're from Better Podcasting, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network.
Just like the show you're listening to now.
The opinions expressed are those of the individual host.
Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
And get ready, because geekiness begins in 3,
2,
1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Well, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 572 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Thursday, September 12th, 2024. My name is Chris. We're all here this week. I'm kicking things off for you guys, but don't worry, I'm joined with the rest of the usual band of misfits. We'll start first with Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
How come I didn't hear the usual filmed in front of a live studio audience?
This show was recorded live in front of a live studio audience on the internet, which is actually true, because if you are catching the audio version of this off of our RSS feed, we do record the show live, stream it out on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook Live. We have a chat room where you can come join with us. So if you hear that we're live, go on over to GonnaGeek.com/live. You can join in there, be a part of the show. We'll read your comments out. You can be our unofficial fourth cast member when you chime in. It's a rotating fourth seat, though, because I don't want to only have 4 seats. It's no fun. It's no fun. But you know it is fun, Mr. Anthony Bachman.
ATGN is not filmed in front of a live studio audience.
But it is.
My cat.
That's our cat. That's our claim to fame, though. This show's been live since episode 1.
Yes, that's true.
I think we have had like 2 episodes that weren't live. One of which was because we had technical issues, so we just recorded it. And then the other was because we tricked you and we recorded ahead of time and then played the video and pretended to be live. I don't remember what episode that was.
Oh, yeah, the fake live show. I vaguely remember that. I
vaguely remember it. Now, the biggest scheme that we've ever pulled on the Gonna Geek Network, though, was not with the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. It wasn't even with the Gonna Geek Show. It was with WTWD Radio Free Woodbury, also known as just Walking the Walking Dead, which was our Walking Dead fan cast that Steven produced, featured myself and one Steve Boyd. Steven did this just to see if he could do it, and he actually pulled it off. But for those that weren't aware, there was one episode where Steve Boyd and I's schedules did not line up. So I recorded the podcast with Steven. We left drops in there for Steve to chime in. Then Steven and Steve recorded their half of the podcast. And Steven combined it all in post to make it look like we all did it together, because we were tossing things back and forth. And Steve was responding to some things that I had said in my analysis of what was going on in the episode. And unless you really knew that we didn't record it at the same time, you wouldn't have known that that was 2 separate recordings mixed into one, where only 2 out of the 3 hosts were on at a given time. It was very tricky. It was very fun. And I imagine that took Steven far too long to edit, which is why we only did it once just to see if it was possible.
I thought the biggest scam on Walking the Walking Dead was you talking about episodes you didn't see.
Oh, I totally
stopped watching it.
Here's the lesson learned for you, boys and girls, or however you may choose to define yourself, because I don't want to define anyone for them. Doing a television podcast can be really fun. But if you get burnt out because the schedule is literally week after week, you've got to watch the show at least one time for your general impressions, the second time to take all your notes and be ready to talk about it, and then spend an hour and a half to 2 hours podcasting about it. A show that you really enjoy, you can do that with. When the show starts losing you and it feels like a chore, you're just like, man, F this. I want my 3 hours back that I was spending watching, rewatching, and doing my own analysis on this episode. And I kid you not, that was part of what happened, but also life kind of got in the way, and my schedule shifted enough that I didn't have time for a couple episodes to go back and watch them because I had shit going on. So I will fully admit there are a couple episodes where my analysis and understanding of the plot was fairly lacking, because I was taking it from not short, but fairly in-depth episode recaps and reviews from online. And I will admit I was talking more to themes about things that were going on versus talking about like audio or visual cues that were in the episode. But it totally did happen. And it's why I have great reluctance to do a television show based podcast on a regular basis again, because, oh man, it's happened to me twice. It happened with Arrow, with the Starling Tribune, where it just got to be a chore at the end. And you're like, okay, this show's wrapping up. We got to power through. We got to finish it. But when the show starts to turn and your opinion shifts on it and you're just doing it to kind of keep it going, people can tell that passion's not there anymore. And as a more experienced podcaster and having done this a lot, I kind of think I would handle it differently with what I know now. But at the time it was, okay, we've made a commitment to do this. We got to keep doing it. It wasn't necessarily that, oh my God, we got to keep doing the show because we need clicks. I don't think we were getting that many hits. It was more of, we made a commitment to doing this and people are expecting it. And that was also an added layer of pressure on it. I don't know, man. TV show podcasts are tough. I have a lot of admiration for folks that have been doing that forever, or that'll go back and watch a TV show and do a podcast like that. But I would argue it might be a bit easier if you go back and do it, because you can just queue up a bunch before you start the podcast, and then just have
if you know the show like start to finish, it's already done. That's definitely different. I did enjoy doing what was the one I did a CMYK TV podcast, because then it was anything based on comics. And at the time, I think at one point during that year, there were 16 shows on television based on comics.
Yeah.
Between the CW, AMC, like everybody had a comic show. And then that one was nice because we kind of divided it up. And so like we had a couple people watch The Walking Dead and a couple people watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and a couple people watched all the CW shows, but nobody had to watch everything. So it's like, well, we'll just cover all the shows we watched.
Sounds like an editing nightmare, though, with how many people you'd have rotating in and out.
Oh, no, it was the four of us and we did it live.
Okay.
So, Chris, is this about time to set up a proposal?
Is it an indecent one?
No. Well, actually, yes.
Oh, my. Well, color me intrigued.
It's a new podcast idea where we talk about a TV show. Here's my title idea.
Which show?
Raw is war, war is hell. And that's where we go back to the Raw is War era every week. And then we rewatch it. And then we talk about, wow, they really probably shouldn't have done this, where they're just telling everyone to suck their dick without consent. Maybe we should talk about this.
So there are a lot of things from the Attitude Era, which
Val
is really there.
Venus. The entirety of the character.
Hello, lady.
Did you see what happened with his stage name, though? The trademark got released, and then he forgot to renew the domain name. And the guy who plays Val Venus is very much anti-LGBTQ, very much anti-trans. So someone bought it and turned it into a pro-trans website, and he's just spitting mad, threatening to sue. And I'm trying to remember. I will see if I can find what it is. It was hilarious, and I was like, good, it couldn't happen to a better person if you're going to be an asshole about
people
living their life.
Yeah.
So we're doing this podcast. I'm just but imagine like the title. Raw is war, war is hell.
See, I would have called it Raw is Wrong.
I'm sure someone is doing it right now.
Yeah. But are they specifically
if
talking about what they probably shouldn't have been doing?
You could easily do a 10-year podcast just doing Raw is Problematic, and week to week go through every episode of Monday Night Raw for 10 years. Like, you would not have any trouble doing that podcast.
Oh.
Here you go, guys. The updated valvenus.com.
That's awesome.
Links to the Trevor Project, Advocates for Trans Equality, and then below, Val, Valued Allies of LGBTQ+, Venus, Vital Education and Non-Judgmental Informational Services, Val Venus.
Oh, they even turned his name to an acronym. I love it.
2 acronyms.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I will say...
Betty hates that so much.
I mean, if it was just there, sure, but I mean, to go out of your way, I mean, it's Val Venus. Who's really going to valvenus.com? Who's going to valvenus.com? Who?
Apparently the wrestler that used to be Val Venus.
Why'd you go there? I see you over there. Why'd you go there? You weirdo?
I mean, it generally goes, you want to have a domain name associated with your name if you want to be a public facing actor, athlete, whatever it is, if only to control your brand so that it's harder for people to impersonate you or whatnot. Hell, I own a domain name of my name. I can't get chrisfarrell.com because I think that's a petition website for a convicted murderer to get off death row or something like that, if I recall correctly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he get off?
I don't think so. I think he's still in jail.
So it's not even a working website.
I'm looking right now. It might be available again. So I have chrisfarrell.net. chrisfarrell.com doesn't seem to be running right now, so maybe it's available. Ooh. I'm sure it's not.
Yeah. At one point, there wasn't AnthonyBachman.com. I think it was the guy that runs the food truck up in Michigan, whose name is Anthony Bachman.
I'm not even going to look up WillieNelson.com.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We already know.
You're just kind of a given.
It is still registered, so I cannot get chrisfarrell.com. So I will stick with chrisfarrell.net that I took just so I'd have a landing spot if I ever needed it.
Darn.
I could get chris-farrell.com, it says here. Or chrisfarrell.org.
No one's typing a hyphen in to get to your page.
That's why I took the .net. I don't really care. It was just so that I had it to have a place to point all of my podcast stuff to be able to then say, hey, here's all my shit if I ever need it.
I stake my claim with this flag of .net in the name of Chris Farrell.
Look, I've also had a serious problem at points in the past where I had jumped on a bunch of domain names because I had ideas of things I wanted to do and then realized that I'm never going to do them. I need to stop sitting on these domain names because those costs add up. So I think I'm only sitting on like 3 or 4 domains currently. I think.
Are they comfortable to sit on?
I mean, one's a little cushiony. This one's not very comfortable just because. No, I'm just kidding.
How about my lap? Is it comfy?
I do have unprotectedadvice.com. I own that, so I will happily transfer it to you, Willie.
That. Oh my god!
Yeah, I know. I'll happily transfer that.
Unprotected?
Yeah. If you want it, Willie, I'll happily transfer it to you if you want to do something with that project. It's all yours.
I don't have the equipment to do so.
Anyone has the equipment anymore. I don't even know if I have it set to forward correctly, though. So we're going to look at that right now, and then we'll get on to other things in the show.
And see where it goes?
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, okay.
Where does this unprotected adventure go? Let's
find unprotected internet.
Unprotectedadvice.com takes you to gonnageek.com/s unprotected advice. So basically it takes you to a search on Gonna Geek for the words unprotected advice. Because I don't have it tagged properly. Because I know we've done more than like 4 episodes of unprotected advice. And I'm pretty sure we've done one more recently than January 2020.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
sure
just
we've done at least one in the last year.
The caveat for unprotected advice is it's always easier to give advice than to receive advice, right? Right. Yeah, we can all agree with that.
Usually.
Depends on the topic. I can't give advice about things I don't know about. My advice would be you're going to have to go to someone better than me to learn about that.
That's me.
But I'll support you in your efforts to better yourself in learning about it. But I don't know that counts about advice, but more as support.
Everyone needs support. Because otherwise you ain't got a leg to stand on.
Oh, there it is.
Well done. I'll allow it.
I'll be here for days just staring at the screen so you guys come back.
We could just run a 24/7 feed of Willie staring at the screen. I could just take a video and loop it and have it go forever. Just Willie, maybe occasionally smoking a cigarette while he stares at the screen.
Hey, I got to change shirts one time, at some point. So, I mean, hopefully you're a lucky ducky and you get to be there when it happens.
No, nobody wants that.
But they could say they were there.
But
they were there.
I don't know about this. I don't
Not
think they're
here,
technically.
but
They're
watching.
not technically there, though. They just witnessed it occurring.
Oh, not here. They were there, not here.
I say
I'm
nay.
here.
I say nay.
I say thee nay.
Well, it was your idea.
In what world do we assume that my ideas are good?
I would assume
Some
you
worlds.
would think your ideas were a good idea.
No,
Otherwise,
man. We have done segments or bits on here before where it's just because it was the only idea we had, not because it was necessarily a good one.
Hey, you give respect to your idea of porn or pony because that was a great idea.
Porn or pony, we did do that a few. It's just that's a tough one to replicate because I don't want to have to do that research again.
And there's only so many
hold
ponies.
on. We can do it with other shows, like He-Man. We go Fisto.
We did that.
Oh,
I think we might have done that.
We did an episode of He-Man or Porn Star.
oh. Well, there's other shows like.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I will tell you is I will defer to Willie and to our audience. If you guys want another episode of Porn or Pony, you need to give us suggestions of sources to pull names from, not necessarily porn star names, because we can find that easily enough just by Googling porn star names. But give us some ideas of some television shows or movies where we can, whoever's going to assemble the quiz can pull names from to put together another round of Porn or Pony, and we'll bring it back.
Remember, he don't need porn names. He's got that on ready. He don't need it
those
from you.
No. My point was it's so much easier because it's just a simple Google search of porn star names, and you'll just find like a Wikipedia of porn probably.
Chris, I'm trying to put out into the ether that you're a porn addict and you're trying to fight it. And
Willie, why are you trying to put out?
Because it's what I'm good
Willie
at.
puts out.
I guess. But here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. If we do this with other programs, that's not My Little Pony. It can't really be called Porn or Pony anymore.
Yeah, you gotta change
You
the name.
don't know that for sure.
It doesn't make sense anymore to call it Porn or Pony.
Other shows can have ponies too. Just saying.
We're really narrowing our reach there. So
F Troop.
why are you saying F a troop? I'm confused.
But Bachman, you know what F Troop is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm not
with you. I'm just messing with you. Calm down.
Well, I mean, I can understand because that was an old show. Even though it was on Nick at Night. That's how I just randomly happened to watch it as a kid. So, I mean,
that is an old one.
Yeah, it's a super old one. I don't even remember what it's about. They're having a fort and crazy antics happen. There you go.
Look, all I'm saying is if people want it to come back, we just need some help getting pointed in the right direction to put together an updated episode of Porn or Pony. I think we did it somewhere between like 4 to 7 times, if I had to guess.
All right. How about this? Audience, it's on to you to make us more kinky. Do you accept this call?
I'm scared of what we're going
They're
to get.
looking up suggestive names for us. What is the hard part of looking at this?
I'm concerned.
Innuendo. Come on. It's not like it's going to be innuendo.
I have concerns.
One of the best jokes from the guild ever.
I love that show. I need to rewatch it at some point. I haven't watched it in ages.
That's one I haven't really seen in a while. But yeah, why is everything an innuendo with you? All in your endo.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I heard that long before the league. Not to say that they did.
No, the guild.
The guild. Yeah. That is maybe where I did get it. Maybe where I did
Blade.
get it. Yeah. Because I know I got it before the league. The guild.
It wasn't in the league.
They're both
in
leagues.
The guild.
They're both guilds. They're kind of
because they asked the guy Blade, why is everything a sexual innuendo with you? He's like, all in your endo.
I mean, he made a good point.
Good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a good point. What do you want from the man?
It was hilarious.
Look, if you guys want to feel old, go look up how old the guild is and then come back to me.
No.
I don't think you're going to like that answer.
I'm going to take a guess because I like doing this. I want to say it's a web series. I want to say 2010.
Well, now I have to go and find it. And
Yeah, I'm making you work. If you're going to state something, you're going to be all ready to back it up, baby.
I just knew it was a long time ago, and it made me feel old. Okay, when did you say it was, Willie?
2010.
You are not correct.
I'm at least within a year, right?
You are not within a year.
Damn it.
Oh, wow.
So here, how about I tell you the networks that the Guild was on, where you could stream
Networks.
it. You know, other than just on their website, you could find it on YouTube. You could find it on MSN Video. And you could also find it on the Zune Marketplace.
Wait a second. What year did Willie say and he wasn't within a year?
Yeah. Does that help?
2010? No, the Guild was like 2004.
No, not 2004. I would say I would change my I'm within 2 years. It's before, so I'm gonna say 2008. That's gotta be it, man.
At 2010, you were not within 2 years. At 2008, you are within 2 years.
Fair enough. That is way earlier than I thought.
According to the Google machine, there were 6 seasons of the Guild. The Guild originally premiered in July 2007.
Okay, I'm all right with that. You see, there's a Jackbox game where you have to
17 years ago. Wow.
I was still in college. I was still in college when the Guild came out.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah. I didn't graduate for like another 6 months or so.
You feel good about yourself?
No, that's how old this is. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That's just how far back it goes for when it was done. And it's still, at least in certain segments of the internet community, pretty well widely referenced and held in a pretty good reverence.
And remember, this all came from a butt play joke. Thank you. The gift that keeps on giving. Butt play.
I guess the show ran until 2013. And in all honesty,
that's how we got here.
Oh, that's how we got it. I was like, I don't think the Guild started because of a butt play joke.
You don't know that?
I honestly started because Felicia Day wanted to make something with her friends and was having trouble getting hired.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if I ever finished it.
I mean, too. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's got a good. It actually has a fairly solid ending, which is hard to do for a lot of shows. Lost.
Does that guy ever stop penny pinching?
I tell you nothing. You want to know? Go watch it.
It's good. Good call. Good call. I can appreciate that. I hate you for it, but I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Are you?
Billy, do you know what else you should appreciate?
Is it the news of the week?
It is.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
That's right. We have transitioned into the news of the week because I didn't have a great organic way to make it happen. But the news of the week is that part of the show where we'll talk about what was in our minds the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week or so and share with the fine folks who are watching us live or listening at a later date. And as I want to do, I will generally let myself go first, and I'm going to do it again. Last week, I talked about Masters of the Universe casting news. This week, I'm going to talk about rumored Masters of the Universe casting news. And just because I want to make a game out of it, I'm going to ask you guys. There is a rumor that an actor has been offered the role of the kind and benevolent Skeletor. My question for you guys, who is this actor that has been offered the role of Skeletor? And if you don't get it wrong on the first guess, I will give you one of their more recent movie credits. And I will continue to do so 3 total times because I guarantee you'll get it by the third one.
Willem Dafoe.
Okay. Willie, who do you think has been offered the role of Skeletor in the live action Masters of the Universe?
A little white makeup, CGI the nose. Willem Dafoe would be a great Skeletor.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, because it makes just as much sense as Steve in Minecraft. I want to say Jack Black.
That is not correct. So I will give you the first of the 3 movies that I will reference. This is Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, I got it. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Blade Runner 2049 is the first guess I'll give you.
I've never seen
Dave
Blade Runner.
Bautista.
Okay.
That is really. I mean, okay. I'm going to say. I mean, I guess that was Ryan Gosling, right?
Gosling, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to say Gosling
and Jared Leto.
You are incorrect. The next movie, and you'll probably be able to get it here, and I won't need the third one. Suicide Squad.
Wow, fucking Leto.
That is correct.
Man,
So according to Jeff Snyder, none other than Jared Leto has been offered the role of live-action Skeletor. If he accepts, he'll join the recently cast Alison Brie as Evil Lynn, Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam and He-Man, and Riverdale alum Camila Mendes as his right-hand woman, Tila. Yeah. Those are the roles we know so far.
She's Evil Lynn, not Tila.
No, Alison Brie is Evil Lynn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got it backwards a bit.
Yeah.
I don't... Jared Leto, though?
That was my reaction. I was like, I don't see it. And he's just going to go method and act like a douchebag to everyone about it and ruin the experience.
Wear purple for 2 years.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Purple is the color of royalty.
I mean, but then again, Skeletor was actually good in the last movie, and I would not have thought of Frank Langella as Skeletor, but it works. Like, he was actually one of the few good parts in that film. No, I was hoping for more of a Seth Rogen as Battle Cat, as a Cringer.
That'd be cool.
I think he'd be a great Cringer. Man. Just Seth Rogen crying all the time. That'd be awesome.
I heard the Jared Leto casting, and I was like, oh, I'm automatically less interested now just because.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. He's not a bad actor. He makes a choice, good or bad. As an actor, he makes a choice. He sticks with it. He runs through the character. And apparently, it makes him an asshole on set. But honestly, I liked his Joker because it was a different take.
Ugh,
it was nothing Heath Ledger. It was nothing Jack Nicholson. It was just off the wall. It's like, oh, this is like a wannabe gangster Joker. Just weird. So it was a choice. But every time his name is announced, it makes me not want to see what he's doing.
Here's my problem
with Jared Leto.
Is that every time he's announced in something, when I then go and see it, it generally sucks. And I'm just like, so like I pull up his IMDb. 2023 did the Haunted Mansion movie. Didn't do well at the box office. 6 stars in IMDb. Morbius
movie,
in 2022.
He's in one scene as the Hatbox Ghost. That wasn't a Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Morbius.
House of Gucci. Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't even know what some of these are. Blade Runner, I guess, was all right. Dallas Buyers Club, he was good in, I'm told. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Suicide Squad. So one of those movies I look at and go, okay, that actually was good. It just, he doesn't do much for me as an actor. And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Fight Club.
I want to destroy something beautiful. Yeah, he was Pretty Face Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't hit see
afterward.
My apologies. I didn't hit see all on his IMDb, but here we'll keep going. Lord of War. That's an okay movie. Phone Booth I enjoyed, but he had an uncredited role in it.
I say Phone Booth had like 3 people in it. Who the hell was he in Phone Booth?
It says uncredited, so he's probably someone in the crowd. Panic background. Room. That was okay, I guess. Requiem for a Dream. American Psycho. Those ones are good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do much for me as an actor, and Skeletor is. I guess this is where Masters of the Universe and He-Man was such a thing to me as a kid.
Yeah.
That it just, I kind of look at that and go, oh, it doesn't do anything for me and it bums me out.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I am wrong. And he's really good at it and does something really cool with Skeletor. It just,
Yeah, you hear an actor's name being brought up for a role and you want to get excited, like Alison Brie. It's like, oh, that would be really cool. I want to see that. I can't remember the last time that someone said, oh, Jared Leto's going to play. And then I went, oh, cool. I want to see that.
Like, I
don't know that that's happened.
I love Tron Legacy. And then like, well, Jared Leto is the lead in the next Tron movie. And I was like, oh, I'm automatically less excited about Tron. just because anytime I've seen something of his, it's just never really clicked for me. And I'm disappointed, I guess, that some of these things I'm excited about, I'm like, oh, but I generally don't care for him in them. And again, hopefully I'm wrong and he does something awesome with both those movies and proves me wrong. It's hard to get past that initial impression of, oh, that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess, if it's the character you love to hate, you get the actor that people seem to love to hate.
Dude, what are you talking about? Skeletor is the best. Everyone loves Skeletor.
Nobody loves Skeletor.
Skeletor's the best. He's kind,
even
benevolent.
Skeletor doesn't like Skeletor. He doesn't even like himself.
If you ever get a chance, go on YouTube and watch. God, this is old too. This is like mid 2000s. The Skeletor Show, where someone redubbed a bunch of stuff from Skeletor to turn it into a sitcom featuring Skeletor. Absolutely hilarious stuff.
I do follow the comedian that does the Until We Meet Agains, which he does the voice of Skeletor. I love that guy.
Until we meet again, He-Man.
Yeah, it's just some of the dumbest stuff ever, and it's kind of like short sketches at one point. Like in one old episode of Masters of the Universe, Skeletor builds like this giant drill thing to drill through the earth to get to like the core of Eternia. So this whole thing is like a 2-minute video of Skeletor drilling to the center of Eternia, like ranting and raving, and he gets there's like, you guys have any pib? And they're like, no. And he just turns around and leaves and starts drilling back out the earth. And I was
then when he gets back to the surface, he has to deal with the EPA because you can't just drill without any environmental threat happening to the center of the planet. Or what are we talking about? Eternia protection. We need it.
Drill, baby, drill.
He is fracking our land.
He's fracking the hell out of it.
Drill.
Okay, now when you say it's so much dirtier, now I like it.
So that's my news, is that they are courting Jared Leto to play the role of Skeletor. Supposedly he's been offered. He's not accepted. I don't know who's going to get it.
Since we're on the subject of He-Man, can I toss a little fantasy casting your way?
Is this just so you have an excuse to say fisto and talk about fisting things as hard as you can?
No. I will actually not. I will not even say his name because he's not.
Are you sure?
100%, because you know who is a major part of the cartoon back in the day in the lore? Orko. And who should play Orko? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I think it should be one person and one person only, and that is Steve Buscemi. And how are they going to do it? Let me tell you how they're going to do it. You see, he's still going to be floating. It's just going to be Steve Buscemi on set, and he's just going to have some the blue screen, like just bottoms, and they're just going to have him floating in post. And just Steve Buscemi is like, hey, I don't know, man, I'll throw some magic this way. And you see, he's like, he's got this Buscemi eyes all in the darkness.
You know that one for Orko? Dinklage. Peter Dinklage as Orko. You can't tell me Peter Dinklage has ever done a bad role. Like, he's great in everything.
Sure.
He'd make Orko awesome.
I mean, anyone can make Orko awesome.
Who played Orko in the Kevin Smith stuff? Was that Seth Rogen?
No, that was... Oh, I can't think of... It's a comedian. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it might have been the guy that was also on The Tick, that was author.
I'm looking it up right now. Now I gotta remember. This is the problem. We go down these random rabbit holes. It was Griffin Newman who played Orko.
You're welcome.
There we go. Then for Disenchanted, Draft Day, and The Tick.
There you go. Yeah, he was Arthur in The Tick.
Spoon.
I mean, I see your idea, but I like my idea better.
Well, that's
Steve
fine.
Buscemi.
You're allowed to like your idea better.
Listen, he was already a magician in one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
That was so bad.
No, it's not going to be Buscemi. It's going to be one of his buddies, Willie. It's going to be Adam Sandler.
He's too busy doing Happy Gilmore 2.
Well, this is an Amazon MGM movie. He's locked into a Netflix deal, so he couldn't even if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I said that mostly jokingly just to get a reaction, though, I'll be honest.
I did like that they just posted a photo of just the hockey jersey. They're like, Happy Gilmore's back. It's like, well, that works.
Yeah.
Look, that movie is designed to appeal to people of our generation, give or take half a generation, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
If you grew up and were a youngin' in the 90s, that's who this movie's for. It's not going to be for someone who never saw the original.
Well, no, let's ask how good Joe Dirt 2 did.
Joe Dirt.
Remember it had a sequel?
I didn't remember, so thank you for bringing that trauma back to me.
It only came on Crackle. That was the only place you could see it.
Yeah, the fact that it even had a sequel is just...
Well, we're talking about sequels right now. I'm going to toss things to Bachman. He's got some sequel news for us today.
We do. We have sequel good and bad news. So the good news is that Spider-Man 4 looks like there might be landing their director with Destin Daniel Cretton in talks to direct. So Tom Holland will be back under the Master of the Marvel Sony collaboration. This is per the Hollywood Reporter, Boris Kitt on September 9th. The bad news there is, of course, he's the filmmaker behind Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So highly unlikely he's coming back for Shang-Chi 2 if he's doing Spider-Man 4. So it's one of those good, bad situations. But we know that Holland's coming back, apparently. They said they, requested, and Sony and Marvel had no comment. But apparently he's in talks. So it's not, anything locked down. There's nothing about what the story is going to be. At one point, he was supposed to be the Avengers King Dynasty director, and we know how that went. Not his fault. He's not the one who cast someone as King and then decided to make the character disappear. But yeah, it looks like he's remained attached to the live-action adaptation of Naruto and now a sequel to Shang-Chi, and unclear how Spider-Man will fit into or affect those. So he's got films lined up, and I mean, Shang-Chi was an incredibly well-made film. The guy's a great director. It was one of those things too. It's he said he had a very personal story about his father that he partially told through that movie. So maybe he just has a better idea for a Spider-Man story than he does for the sequel for Shang-Chi. Maybe he just doesn't have a great idea for that.
I think it might be more that Marvel's more interested in a Spider-Man movie than a Shang-Chi movie right now.
Oh, Shang-Chi made them a lot of money overseas.
Yeah, but this is Spider-Man money.
That's true. But yeah, it's just it brings me back to why can they not just kick Sony out of there and just get Parker back?
Well, if you believe what was rumored by some of these supposed insiders, I don't know the accuracy of it, but I've seen it reported on various threads in Reddit, is there was a battle between Kevin Feige and Sony as to whether Spider-Man 4 would be a multiversal movie or whether it would be a street level movie. And supposedly Feige lost. And Feige was the one backing the idea of a more street level one. The most recent rumors I had seen, and God knows if these are true, but these come from people that are supposedly connected enough that there's a subreddit for Marvel spoilers where they mention it, is that with the two Avengers movies, what is it? First is Doomsday, then it's Secret War. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
So after Doomsday, effectively the multiverse kind of collapses in the comics, and we get Battle World, which is going to be all of these different multiversal worlds jammed into one. And movies that take place between those Avengers movies will exist on Battle World. And supposedly this is where Spider-Man 4 is being targeted, is to take place in that gap there, so that they can bring back not only Tom Holland, but potentially Tobey Maguire. And why am I brain farting? Andrew Garfield. And villains from their world and things like
Hardy.
That. Now,
oh, wait, you mean Spider-Man villains that would meet Spider-Man? Like Tom Hardy or Craven or Morbius? Carnage.
So, now, do I believe this? I think elements of it potentially. I think they probably want to do something multiversal. I think they want to try and make the other Spider-Men show up again because it worked last time. And I kind of question that logic as to whether it's going to work again, because the awe and wonder of, oh my God, this is happening has already happened, both in live action and multiple times in animated now. So it's kind of old hat at this point in time.
Plus, and it makes No Way Home less special if it happens again in the next Spider-Man movie.
Well, I mean, the other thing is supposedly they're going to have Doctor Strange's spell broke early on in Spider-Man 4, if you believe the rumors too, which doesn't make sense to me either. Why do it if you're just going to undo it immediately? So again, this is where I say that these people that are the insiders that are leaking what Marvel's ideas are, I don't know that they necessarily know, but more they publish things to ensure that they get the clicks and people on their Patreon. I think elements of it could be true, which is I think there was probably a difference of opinion between multiversal versus street level. And I think if you look and see what's going on, you can see whose side would be whose in pushing that idea.
It is interesting, though, if they do it like if Doomsday sets up Battle World to then go into Secret Wars, if you do a Spider-Man movie in between them, yeah, you could do anything with that movie, and it's just the random version of Parker on Battle World played by Tom Holland.
And guess how easy it would be to give him a black suit then, like they want to do.
Yeah,
please no.
I'll be honest, I'd be real damn happy to see Tom Holland run into Tom Hardy and Kick Ass and freaking Jared Leto, because I would like to see some Spider-Man villains actually fight Spider-Man. Sony, they're fucking Spider-Man. All right,
then you pay for Tom Holland's casting.
Well, I can't afford Tom Holland.
Neither can Sony, apparently, along with the others. They got to use Marvel for it.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say the one good thing about all this, I mean, because my biggest takeaway from Shang-Chi was the big epic fight scenes were very well done. So, I'm looking forward to that in the Spider-Man.
He does action very well.
I hope the director brings his stunt team that he had for Shang-Chi with him to do Spider-Man, because while the Spider-Man movies have been fun, have we really ever felt like we've seen a good live action version of how Spider-Man is depicted as fighting in the comics?
Not so much.
I want to see Maximum Spider from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it in a live action. Do it.
I want to see something way better than that. I want to see the mix when Parker lost his spider sense, needed to learn how to defend himself, and on Spider Island went to Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi taught him Spider Fu.
I don't think we're going to get that.
A martial art just for Peter Parker, based on his ability to stick to walls and have super strength.
That's a bit too niche to be able to fit into a movie.
I'm just saying, it's Battle World. We can have anything we want. I want Spider Fu.
I don't want there to be a Spider Island on film. I would much prefer to never step foot or know of its existence of Spider Island. I'm pretty sure that's just Australia.
That's a term for it. Yeah, Spider Island.
Just imagine though, if you wanted to do a horror movie that was based off of Spider Island with Spider-Man, there's a lot of body horror coming out of Spider Island.
Spiders Man. Look up Spiders Man. Look that up and be.
You can do a lot of body horror with Spider-Man stories.
Don't look up Spiders Man.
Yeah.
Do not look it up.
Either way, with everything that he's attached to and rumored to be doing, I really do hope he gets the Spider-Man movie, because I would love to see the action sequences that director would put together with Tom Holland and hopefully, his stunt team. Because, man, he made the fight sequences in Shang-Chi just amazing, beginning to end. That bus fight alone was worth the price of the ticket to see that movie, much less the epic fight scenes.
I don't disagree.
I'm looking forward to it, whatever he does.
I got a feeling that Willie's not looking forward to something.
Oh, yeah, because I just keep hearing that Sony's fucking up. God damn it. They can't make Spider-Man just right. Can they?
There's other things that you're not happy about Sony doing right, I've been told.
I've heard.
Sony really is shitting the bed here, aren't they? Yeah, they are, because I've also heard that they're thinking that they know that they announced that they're releasing a PlayStation 5 Pro.
They're thinking that they think that they announced.
It was the worst kept secret in the industry because how much has the PS5 Pro been talked about for like the last 6 months?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, the news that they released isn't good. No. I am not interested. Even before hearing any of this, I was not interested in a PlayStation 5 Pro. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a step. Even the PS4 Pro wasn't that really necessary. I can't speak of the Xbox's side, but I'm assuming it's somewhat similar to it. But I don't want to talk about this information, but here we are.
Yeah.
What is going to be in the... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, this dropped when I wasn't paying a ton of attention to these because I was out on vacation. So I sort of just saw that it was happening. I then saw, you'll get to it, of course, the price point and stuff. And I laughed. It went, I don't need to know anymore because Willie's going to be talking about it on ATGN this week, I'm pretty sure.
That price point is ridiculous.
So Willie,
what comes with? Here it goes.
Yeah. Educate us.
In addition to 2 terabyte hard drive, I'm assuming it doesn't specify, but an SSD, I'm assuming. The PS5 Pro has some specific improvements to make video games look better. A new graphics processing chip. Has a larger graphics processing unit with faster response, so rendering of game video is up to 45% faster. Does that really matter when it already pretty much going pretty fast already?
So that gets to one of the crux of the matters for me, which is this really going to do anything that people are going to notice other than...
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because it also has advanced ray tracing.
Okay, so I will give them some credit here from a technical point of view. Being able to pull off 60 FPS ray tracing on everything you throw at it is pretty cool technically, if you can do it.
I don't see anything about a 60 frame base anywhere here, and I doubt we're going to get that even in the next generation, even though we should have it this generation, but here we are. Apparently it's also going to have some artificial intelligence, the buzzword everyone loves, some AI. Yeah. The PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, also known as the PSSR. Oh my God! Why that? That is an acronym. I did not know.
The PSSR.
Back in the PSSR.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Yeah, the USSR is where I went to. But when you say it out loud like that, you make it so much worse. Oh, the pusser. Right? Every PlayStation 5 Pro is going to come with a pusser. Which uses AI and machine learning based technology to upscale and improve how games look. Yay. How much better? Sure. And seems like this also came from the PS4 Pro as well, a game boost. This feature may stabilize or improve the performance of supported PS4 and PS5 games.
And what does it not come with?
It does not come with a disk drive.
I was gonna say, it
not come with a disk drive. Yeah. Does not come with a disk drive.
Yeah.
Those are sold already for $80 separate.
Yeah.
It also does not come with a stand, which I have not seen whether it's necessary to have. I think it's necessary to have standing up, like vertical, but I don't know if it's necessary to lay horizontal, because mine's laid horizontal because I ain't got the height room underneath that shelf for it to fit in.
How do you fit this giant monster vertically anywhere?
Mine's vertical.
Yeah, but
is it behind your television?
No.
It's too hot back there.
It's too hot. I have a corner unit entertainment center that's built with a fireplace underneath of it. So it is on the far left side of the mantle, upright, with a with the HDMI cable running back up into the whole entertainment center, plugged into the back of my receiver.
There you go.
Yeah, I got nowhere to put it vertical. It's too damn big.
Yeah, and the price point I believe is $700
Without a disk drive.
That's
No
separate
disk
at
drive.
$80 separate. I don't. Why is this a thing that needs to be released? That needs to happen? Why can't we just put these resources that went into this to just make the next step
Because
better?
they
Not
were
the half
too-
step, the full step.
Because they were too busy raising the prices of the controllers.
I mean, did they raise them?
Yeah,
Already?
all the controllers went up
All
$5.
controller
too.
prices went up $5.
Yeah, they increased all the cost of all the controllers and put out the new one and said it's going to be $700.
There you go. There's your proof. My upright PS5
jeez.
and my upright Xbox Series X.
So,
Yes, you got the college fridge on the right and the giant beastie on the left. God, the new systems are so ridiculously big.
Sony doesn't learn lessons, do they?
No.
Sony just don't learn lessons.
Okay, so-
let's have a. Oh, go ahead.
Why do you need to learn a lesson if people keep buying it?
Mhm.
That's going to be the
Here's
thing.
the lesson.
Is nothing's going to change
All right.
if a bunch of people go and buy the PS5 Pro. But here's the thing: if you have a PS5 already, I haven't found the reason to upgrade yet.
No.
Well, hold on. You're not expecting us to have the same exact problems that we had 4 years ago, are you? Scalpers are going to take them. You're expecting people to buy them. No, it's going to be scalpers. And yes, they are not people.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I guess that honestly will come down to how much actual demand there is. And this is not me indulging in fanboy warism and shitting on PlayStation or anything. But like as I was reading stuff, I was like, okay, there's some cool quality of life changes here. But this is stuff that is, if I haven't bought a PS5 yet, the PS5 Pro has a different value proposition to me to have stuff. But if I already have a PS5, why do I want to upgrade to the PS5 Pro? I haven't found that reason yet from the stuff that they've talked about on there. Maybe Willie, you can probably talk to it more. You're more familiar with it. This is me just doing my cursory glance through a couple articles and seeing what the differences are in some games that are supposedly going to max out the capabilities of PS5 Pro. They're all remasters of shit I've already played. Why do I want to?
You want history? Let's go back to history. I personally got a PS4 Pro. I got that, and let me tell you what that improved in the graphics. I'm not sure. Inconclusive. From PS4 to PS4 Pro. I'm not sure what looks better. But the biggest blunder of the PS4 Pro was that it didn't come with a 4K Blu-ray disc drive. I had no idea why it didn't. Makes no sense when Sony, you own the rights to Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Well, I don't get it. Xbox One had it. The Xbox One had. They paid you, Sony, to put it on there.
But Sony
This
wouldn't
one
pay
doesn't have
Sony
such
to
a
put it
downside.
in the Sony PlayStation. Yeah.
Makes no sense. Oh yeah, if you want to go back in history, remember when they released the price point of the PS3, the original PS3, and people were like, "What? That was not I think it was like $500 back in
$600, I thought.
It had two different models, a 20 gig and a 60 gig model, I believe.
Something like that. I
I
could have
want to say
sworn.
those are the correct numbers.
Yeah, that could be. I don't fully remember.
Yeah,
But I think that one was 600. The 60 gigabyte hard drive. Isn't that fun to say now?
Well,
You want to talk
one
about
thing
the 20 gig?
I can't
The
even
only-
play Call of Duty.
the only game I've heard that like they've been like I've seen people touting that you need the PS5 Pro for is GTA 6. I'm like,
But do you?
I don't even want GTA 6 anyways.
Can I ask who said that to you?
I just remember seeing it on like scrolling through a feed. They're like,
I would-
this is
I
the
would
one
disagree
game
with
you'll
that.
need it for. I'm like, I definitely don't want it.
theoretical game that we don't even know how it runs on anything yet. Who says stuff like that? If you said that, shut up. That's what I'm telling you. If you got a problem with it, send me hate mail on Twitter/X, whatever it's called now. It sounds quirky.
Look, here's the thing with Grand Theft Auto 6 or 5 or whatever the fuck the next one is. I keep forgetting in my head. The most recent version plays on 3 generations of consoles. So yes, even if it comes out on PS5 Pro, you're going to be able to play it on at least the PS5 and maybe even last gen consoles, because God only knows anymore. And even when it does come out, even if it comes to PS5 Pro and you get the better version now, wait 5 years from now and then you can play it on the PS6 Pro when they release their updated version. Then.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting close, Sony. I want that PS9. I want nanites that like go into my nose and like put it in my brain. I want my PS9 full nanites.
You expect to still be living then?
Oh yeah,
the nanites will take you over and see you as useless.
We'll see. As long as I don't play video games.
I like my my machines in the future to be a little murderous.
This is how we get the Matrix, guys.
That's true.
The Matrix has already started, man. The AI it's learning currently at this moment as we speak. As people in the future listen back at this moment that's happening now. I'm talking to you in the present from the past. Figure that out.
No, it is ridiculous though, because I'm literally looking at getting a new TV for our living room. That's one of the last things we're doing. We just got a new entertainment center. We got a new couch. We got shutters put in. Like, we got the fireplace done. The living room is done. Other than I want to get a new TV and a new PlayStation out there. And the one thing I want is a PlayStation with a disc drive, because I don't have a VCR or DVD player or anything like that in the living room. So it's like, I just want to have one machine out there that I can play movies on and play games. And they're like, oh, here's your PS4 or PS5 Pro for $700. No disc drive. It's like, well, cool. I'm getting another PS5.
You can get an extra. You can get one that buy it for $80.
Disc drive, yeah, instead of buying an attachment.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. I have no idea why. It makes no sense, but
so ridiculous. Yeah,
I don't make the big bucks at Sony, so what do I know, right? I mean, I haven't put out an award-winning product. Who am I to say what it should and shouldn't have?
I don't know. Those candle skeletons are pretty cool.
I don't think Sony wants those.
You never know.
I don't know. It just seems like they're putting one out because it's expected of them to put one out. I don't see a differentiator for me to be like, oh my God, I have to have this. You'll have some people that always feel like they have to have the most cutting edge. They'll be like, oh shit, I'm going to go out and get this. And I don't know that it's going to be that noticeable of a difference. And here's the other thing. I don't know it's going to be that noticeable for some folks because I don't know that they're going to have a TV that can support all of these new things. That's part of what we're running into now is people are like, I'm going to buy this new console. Great. You're running on a 10-year-old TV that can barely do regular 4K. All of the things this console can do, you're not seeing as part of what's going on. The TV is arguably the more important piece you need to have first so that you can witness these better graphics, these advancements. And maybe the tangible thing they'll get to experience is some stuff's going to load faster because there's more horsepower and quicker storage under the hood. I mean, there's something tangible potentially that everyone could notice, but graphic stuff being better is a very subjective thing unless you're going to be like Digital Foundry and literally do like frame by frame comparisons. And while I enjoy that from a technical perspective, I would also argue it's one of the worst things to have happened to any kind of console and video game discussion now, because all it leads to is a bunch of people nitpicking things that Digital Foundry finds and goes, well, this is an odd thing that happens, but it happens once every minute or something like that. Then it becomes the whole reason this game sucks and it wasn't optimized right and blah, 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 blah. It looks bad here. The Digital Foundry analysis just gets used for fanboy wars now versus here's some interesting technical capabilities and tweaks and quirks. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'll be interested to see when Digital Foundry gets one and does their analysis to compare some of these PS5 Pro optimized games running on a PS5 Pro to the same game in its regular version running on a PS5 and see if there really is a tangible difference.
So, Chris, are you still a moderator on the Xbox thing?
I am not currently. No,
Okay.
I have
But
taken a leave of absence.
when you last were there still people in the midst of console wars?
Yes, there are always console wars, especially on Reddit.
All right, I'm just giving life advice all throughout this podcast. Hey, if you're one of those people who wants to argue about console wars, man, these companies don't care about you, man. Don't fight for these companies. They don't care about you. What are you doing for them for?
This is the same thing I've said on the internet when it comes to people that will fiercely defend only one pro wrestling company and shit on all the rest of them. These companies don't care about you like that. Just watch what you like and let other people watch what they like, and don't feel compelled to shit all over it.
These companies have 2 words for you.
Pay
Figure
me.
it out. Oh, sorry
No.
for the audio listeners. I just stated to my crotch as I thrust it forward and put my 2 arms in front of it in a cross motion.
He did the
AKA
DX.
suck it.
He did the DX crotch chop for those that were wondering.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the actual 2 words are pay me. That's the only 2 words those companies have. Pay me. They don't care about anything else. Pay me.
And they make you suck it while you do it. Metaphorically.
Willie, you should know the console wars will never end until all consoles become Taco Bell.
Is it too late to do a Haktua joke now? Is
Yes,
it
it's too
already
late.
passed?
Stop it.
As soon as Haktua started getting used in political conversations and political propaganda and T-shirts, it became too late. Yes.
You think I look at those?
Willie don't read.
Exactly. You have to have an 8th grade reading level to see a lot of those, my man.
Willie lives in a battleground state. I'm sure he's seen someone wearing one of those shirts walking around.
I like the images, man. The colors are nice. They're so saturated and pretty. Red, white, and blue. How do you do?
Uh-huh.
Oh, dear.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, indeed. So, Willie, I guess the question when that's all said and done, you're disappointed with the PS5 Pro. So, when are you getting yours?
I probably will adamantly not.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
It's dumb. It's no reason. And even if I did, what are the chances of me actually getting it on release? What are the chances?
I don't know anymore.
Scalpers.
I don't. Yeah.
They're not human. They're not people.
Yeah.
We need to treat them as the sludge they are.
Yeah, it's gonna depend on the how the market looks for how many people actually want it versus how slim Sony makes the offering of how many units they put out into the marketplace. They'll do that forced scarcity bullshit.
Well, I don't.
Scalpers still have the same mindset as the company. The Sony probably does of you still buy it, so why should I stop?
I don't know. If I'm Sony, I don't know that I necessarily want to drop a ton of these at launch because they're arguably a fairly significant chunk more expensive than the inventory that's already out there. Now, we can debate whether the value proposition is worth it for the enhancements they've said or not, but we're talking $300 more expensive for a console that's going to play the same games that just look a little different.
A little better.
I don't know that you want to make a ton of those because then it more highlights the fact that if gamers aren't interested in them, you potentially have stuff sitting around out there. Because while I admit the first round of them, the scalpers are probably going to pick up, we've seen before that when people are just not buying it, then the scalpers have to sit on inventory and the next round of stuff that comes out, they don't pick up.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's what we
how
hope for.
much. I don't know. I'm saying this very poorly. I guess my thought is I don't know how many people are going to either want to upgrade or buy this one for what the sweet spot of console numbers to release at launch would be. I have no idea. For me and for Willie, it sounds like, and probably Bachman, the value proposition's not there to upgrade.
No.
For what it's going to present for us. I'm sure there are people that think similarly to us. So I just don't know how many people are going to be clamoring to buy one on day one. And maybe I have a blind spot here. I fully admit that's possible. Well, you look deep in thought.
Yeah, I'm of course, like I said, not going to get it. I'm not even gonna. I don't understand why. I don't. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed.
That's fair. Sony, you've disappointed Willie.
Super disappointed. I'm also disappointed in Sony for also not releasing a new Twisted Metal game, not show that really has nothing to do with the Twisted Metal IP. I I would like some other things from the past that they just. I would like another PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale game. Where's that at? I would like that too. That was fun.
But don't worry, Sony. While Willie's disappointed now, he'll be back for the PS6.
Oh yeah, but more than likely.
Oh, Target's
Will
got
that have a disc drive? Probably not.
Probably not. But Target has a PlayStation 5 Spider-Man 2 bundle with the disc drive for $4.99. I'd rather get that than a PS5 Pro. Save myself $200 bucks.
Well, technically $280 cheaper because that comes with built in with the disc drive.
So with the disc drive and Spider-Man 2, and I save $280, sounds like a bargain.
Well, to be fair, unless it is the previous gen PlayStation 5, you get the removable disc drive. It just comes with it pre-installed in that generation. If it's the current generation of PS5,
the slim one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean the pictures they're showing is the Gen 1.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe
not the attached external.
Yeah, because that's the Spider-Man 2 bundle. I don't think they had those slims out when that came out.
I can't keep track of it. I'll be honest.
That's fair. I'm just going off guessing here. That seems like I don't think they were released when Spider-Man 2 came out because I remember Spider-Man 2 itself was a bit disappointing. I mean, I still had lots of fun. Might revisit it.
So here, let's have a thought exercise as we wrap up this story. Then, PS5 Pro $700. We've heard the rumblings and the murmurings that Switch 2 is about to be announced. If you're Nintendo and seeing that PS5 Pro is $700, an Xbox Series X is $500, a Switch is $299, what's your price point for Switch 2?
I have the actual answer, but I'll let a good old.
I don't think we have the actual answer though.
How much is the current next gen Xbox?
$499 for the Series X.
Okay, so current PS5 and Xbox are $500. The new PlayStation Pro is going to be $700, and current Switch is $300.
About that, I think, yeah.
And yeah, I mean that gives them anywhere between $350, $450 to play with. If I'm Nintendo, I put that sucker out for $400. It's just slightly cheaper than the other ones.
That's what I would do too. But Willie, you seem to have more knowledge than I, so illuminate us.
Think about it. Nintendo is prideful above all else. Proven time and time again.
$900, Willie's about to say.
No. What I'm saying is they don't care what their price point is. They're doing their own thing. And they're probably looking at it in a bubble. We don't care what they're doing. We're doing our own thing, and that's what we're doing. We are the leader in gaming future, whatever. Look at it. Everyone's buying our systems left and right. We put out nothing but gold. Look at us. Switch. We don't talk about the others.
Virtual Boy.
I said we don't talk. Hey, now hold on a second. That was helped made by Gunpei, and he's also the man who made the Game Boy, and we give him respect. It's still a Virtual Boy, but yeah,
fair. All right, so with that in mind, Willie, what's your price point then after you're saying?
For a Switch 2, Nintendo looking at the history of what they have done. Well, I mean, it also depends upon what it is. Like, is it going to be similar to how the Switch works? Is it going to be a whole other thing? So $350 to $450 somewhere in cap place, depending upon what it is.
So there's a few rumors going around, and the one I've seen the most going around, which doesn't necessarily mean that'll be the one before anyone sends their hate mail, is that it will be something similar to what we have with the Switch now, but that the base station will also have hardware of some kind in it that is used to supplement it when it is docked. And when you undock the Switch 2, you will have second screen capabilities similar to what we saw in the Wii U on the Switch 2 when playing on the same network. I don't know, there's Wi-Fi, some ad hoc mesh or Bluetooth or whatever between your base station and the handheld. Now, do I believe that's the case? I have no idea. Nobody really knows, and those that really know aren't saying a damn word because they don't want to lose their Nintendo developer access.
And Nintendo will sue you.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Bowser ain't gonna
That's what they do.
care about you. He'll sue you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Bowser got no love for you.
Oh, I mean the Nintendo of America president, Bowser.
Yes. I know. I'm aware.
I don't think he does.
Nope.
Was it
His
Doug
name is
Bowser?
actual
It's Doug
Bowser.
Bowser, isn't it?
Doug Bowser.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just kind of like how Amazing Spider-Man 2's director was.
Mark Webb.
It's called. I
Yeah.
have a term for it. I call it life rhymes. When things happen like that, life rhymes.
You're not wrong, man.
It's a patented term that Willie made. Like El bro, when you tap elbows with your bro. El bro.
God.
That's a Willie original.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the price point is. And that the rumors keep going that we're going to hear something any day now. But I've also been hearing that we'll get something solid on Metroid Prime 4 for many years until we finally did. So I don't hold my breath anymore when it comes to Nintendo news coming soon. It just comes when it comes.
It doesn't exist.
No, it exists. I'm sure
It doesn't exist. It's fake.
They're at a point in their life cycle where it exists. It's just people are keeping their damn mouths shut because they don't want to be the one that leaks it and has Nintendo come down with the hell of the angry gods upon them.
Strike them to death with an NDA, with their NDA that they signed.
Yeah, lose your developer access. Big, well, sucks to be you.
You hear a knocking, and before you can even, right as you're reaching for the door handle, you hear, fucking Wario and Waluigi again. They won't leave me alone. They keep pestering me.
It's gonna
Have
be
you seen Waluigi? He walks dick first everywhere he goes. It's weird.
It's gonna be like the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where Jay and Silent Bob go around the country beating the shit out of people that made fun of them in the movie. It's just gonna be Wario and Waluigi doing that to people that leak Switch 2 stuff, flying around the country.
That'd be awesome.
It's going to have the same music going to it also that they did in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
You know what, Nintendo? Here's a free idea. You want a good movie that won't bomb like Mario 93? Here you go. That same idea, kind of similar idea, but it's Wario and Waluigi just implanting into our world. They somehow come in here. They come out of the game, and they're going around being Wario and Waluigi.
Wait. Willie's
CGI.
like, if you need a movie, it's not going to bomb like the 93 Mario. Here's my idea. When there's a Mario movie that came out a year ago and made like $1 bajillion.
Yeah, made all the monies. I think they know how to do their movies now.
I think they're good now, buddy.
This one's going to be rated PG-13.
Because someone says the F word once in it?
No. Just because of how obscene Waluigi walks. Look at any video of him walking. He's always walking dick first. Look at it. It's weird.
So is he the one that gets to say fuck in your PG-13 adaptation?
You are so hooked up on fucking. Why does anyone have to say it? It doesn't have to be said.
Because you get one at PG-13.
Doesn't mean you have to take it. What is wrong with
why
you?
wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
You
if
get
it's
one.
Wario and Waluigi, why wouldn't you?
Because you get stuff like Wario going fish sticks. Yeah. I don't know why he says that. You play WarioWare and you hear him say that so many times.
Are we talking about gay fish again?
It's Wario, you possibly. You might smack you across the face with a gay fish. Possibly a bi fish. Who knows? Who judges?
So what you're saying, Willie, is you like fish sticks.
Who doesn't like fish sticks?
I'm going. You know what?
Must
Since
be
you
gay
brought it up,
fishing.
I'm going to make you pay for this, Chris. Hey, listeners, you should Google fish sticks. Have fun with that Google search.
It's a South Park reference. Come on.
I
man.
know that is. I know that is. But go ahead and Google fish
It
sticks.
was
and
the whole
be
thing
happy
when
with
Kanye
it.
doesn't get the joke and Mencia stole the joke at one point in time. It's a great episode of South Park.
Don't forget the one was like where Kanye West is calling his girl Kim Kardashian like, "Bitch, is you is or is you not a hobbit?"
Yeah, but the fish episode gives us the gay fish song, which is one of my favorite South Park moments of all time.
That's fair.
I still got on the list. One of these days, I will watch all of South Park, but I haven't tackled that beast yet.
And I love how they tied Free
It's gonna
Will's
be a
Yaks
lot.
into Kanye West eventually. Made it even better. There's some dated references to South Park right there.
If you want some
Nice.
dated references, let me go back to Mario 93.
Okay, we're not going to go back to Mario 93. We're going to move forward into talking about what we've been into. In our final segment of the show, What I'm Into. It's where we talk about the geeky and nerdy stuff we've been doing. Because, hey, you guys may want to check it out yourselves. Bachman, why don't you kick us off? What you been getting into?
I've been getting into Space Marine 2. I got maybe like 12 hours in this week. So I played through, I think I'm at about 30% on the story mode. I mean, it's not a huge campaign, but it's long enough and it's fun. And yeah, driving a Space Marine around like basically a tank that swings a chain sword and shoots a gun, just a blast. Getting to try out all the other weapons. I literally at this point, like I haven't finished the story mode, so I haven't tried any of the multiplayer PvE. Or I was like, no, I'm gonna save all of that till the end. But yeah, other than that, it's been a lot of work. Replacing light bulbs and doing little things around the house. But I did finally finish building all of the Stormcast Eternals for Skaven Tide. And then I have not primed them yet, but I have the last 10 Liberators, and they have all had bases, they've all been based. So they've all got the little sand and the rocks, and they're ready to be primed. So I got the last 2 units of 5 men each, 5 with shields, 5 with just hammers. So the 10 Hammer Brothers are ready to go for my Skaven Tide Stormcast. So yeah, I got those guys ready to prime. Once those are primed, I will have everything in that box built, primed, and ready to paint. And then I just have to paint 23 figures, with the goal being to get them done by Christmas so that me and the nephew can do a spearhead battle at Christmas.
That's a lot of painting.
It is. But also, I mean, I played Kill Team with my veteran guardsmen that are just spray painted or prime black and then have a Zenithal highlight white. It looks nice enough with the Zenithal highlight on them that I don't mind playing with them. They're not gray. They're just not fully painted. But yeah, the goal is to try to get as many of those painted by Christmas as possible. And I got a can of, I think it's called Montana Gold spray paint, and it's actual gold chrome spray paint. I've tried it on one figure just to see what it looks like. I did a C3PO for Jana for our anniversary, and that spray can puts out a pretty good golden chrome. And I'm trying to decide at this point, I don't know which color scheme I'm going to do on the Stormcast, because I originally did them in the OG color scheme where they're just basically head to toe gold, and then the scale mail hanging from their belts is in silver. On the new boxes, though, the box art that Warhammer did, they did them to where the majority of their armor is silver, and then all the little highlight pieces are gold, and it looks really good. So I may have to paint one of each and just see how I like it, and then go from there and decide whether or not they're all going to be just head to toe gold, or if they're going to get the silver and gold treatment. Because then it might also be fun. Like, I don't know if I could, it would be a lot of masking to like paint them silver and then just leave just the highlight parts sticking out of like silly putty and then hit them with the chrome spray paint. But it might work. So we'll see. I gotta do a test on at least 2 of them once I get them primed and figure out. I'll probably grab one of each of the Liberators because they're the kind of the main infantry unit. So I'll paint one silver, paint one gold, and highlight one gold and see how they look. But yeah, that's about all I've been getting into.
Well, nice.
A lot of work.
I'll go next, and then we'll really finish things up. I was on vacation the last 3 days. I was in New York City because my wife had a conference there. Yeah. So I tagged along because she had a hotel that was right in the middle of Midtown, and I got to have a little bit of fun, had some adventures, ate some good food, had some ramen while I was there, ate at a Cuban place that was really good, had some Singaporean chicken that was good. I made it a point when I was there to kind of try to eat food that I wouldn't normally be able to get, and then, of course, get a slice of New York pizza. Got to get a walking slice, as they call it. I'll tell more stories on that one here in the future. But I did have a lot of fun while I was there. I didn't get to do all of my plans. Part of my plans was to go and hit up a bunch of the Midtown Comics locations. That was a bit more I bit off more than I could chew there, because the first 2 days I was there, I think I got 18,000 steps each day. And I was like, okay, this is a lot of walking. And for someone who works from home normally and doesn't get as many steps as I should, it was catching up with me. I did on Sunday when we flew in have a chance to go to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. It's a very sobering experience if you get a chance to go there. And they have the museum section. It takes you through the entire day, and it's very sobering. And I remember those things because I was a high school junior, I think, at the time it happened. But I know that for many people, it's a different perspective because younger folks weren't alive when it happened anymore, which boggles me to some extent just because I hadn't realized. I think I realized intellectually, and then you start seeing some of the people that were there, and you're like, holy crap, that's right. It is a big difference. So yeah, it was wild. What else did I get into? Oh, I just want to rant for a second. Folks that are there at like the 9/11 Memorial, be aware of where you are. It was so frustrating and felt disrespectful to see people that were like clamoring to get the perfect pose to take a selfie or do their Instagram live while they're at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, like 2 days before 9/11, sitting there trying to, I got to make sure I have the perfect photo, not of the museum or the memorial, but of me at the museum or the memorial. Like, I get taking pictures to remember that you saw something or something like that, but it just feels almost disrespectful the way that some folks were just like making themselves the center of these photos at that place. I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. I will fully admit that when we went, a good chunk of the museum, once you get into it, they say no photography. It makes perfect sense. Like, I took some photos of the outside because it was gorgeous. Took a few photos when I got in. And then I was like, I don't need to take more photos. I just need to observe, see what all is going on, to just soak in everything that this is, and keep in mind that it's a solemn thing, because there are people that died on that site. You've got people whose remains still remain on that site from what happened there. And it frustrated me. It made me feel uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know. I didn't care for it. If you ever get a chance to go, just hold it in the right level and don't be disrespectful to those that lost their lives there, or to those that have family that are going there to memorialize and think about the family or friends that they've lost.
Not to make a joke of it, but you know who was there on day one as it happened? Mr.
Steve
Fantasy
Buscemi.
Casting. Steve Buscemi was there.
Yeah.
He was
The firefighter. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
former New York Fire Department.
I figured it was all right for a callback for something who actually did
it was.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. And same thing goes also in other places that aren't as somber. Like, my wife wanted to go to the Museum of Modern Art because it was literally a 2-block walk from our hotel. So we went, and like, I don't get art, especially some of the more modern stuff that's in there. But I thought it was cool that Van Gogh's The Starry Night was there. That was something I wanted to see.
Oh shit! You got to see the Starry Night.
Yes, I did.
In person.
In person. I was literally like 2 feet away from it. But here's the problem. Again, we get back to all these people that we go to see the Starry Night. That's the thing that the most people are trying to get to. And everyone's getting up front so that they can take their selfie and frame themselves perfectly in front of it. So it's not about the art. It's about the, look where I am. Look at this cool.
It's about their social media.
It's about their social media. It was very frustrating because I wanted to go see it. I wanted to get closer to take a picture, not so that I could post it and be like, look where I am, but so that I could have that memory associated with, holy shit, I can't believe I got to see this. And instead, you've got people that are taking like minutes to take multiple photos until they can find just that perfect photo to put on the Instagram. And you're like, you're not seeing the art. You're not there to see the art. You look at it and give it a cursory glance, go, cool, this will be great for my Instagram. That's not the moment here. The moment is on the wall behind you. You are not the story. And it really frustrates me. And maybe this is my old white man yells at cloud moment. And if so, I'll take it, because while I don't get art, I'm trying. I was trying to understand some of the stuff I saw there. And some of the shit that's in there is really weird, and I will never get it to my dying day. But some of it, you're just like, wow, I don't get it, but it's crazy. It caused me in some way. And you go, wow. And instead it just turned into a bunch of people that are like, I have to get this perfect photo of myself in front of it so that I can post it online. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. It's sadly the day and age we live in.
I don't understand selfies. I've said that before. And I felt dirty. I took one selfie as a joke while I was there because we were outside the Nintendo store and there was a cool statue of Mario behind me. So I took a selfie of myself in front of it with Mario over my shoulder doing like a shocked face just because it was fun to me. I don't get selfies. I'm not there to see me in these things. I'm here to see these things and to potentially take some photos for me to remember having experienced that. I don't need to see myself in my memories of experiencing something. Maybe it's just because I don't want to see myself. I don't know.
Well, I mean, in your memories already, you don't perceive yourself in those memories because you were the first person out of it.
Yeah, I was going for more. I was going for more of a self-hating vibe there, but that might be a better answer.
I mean, I was gonna do a whole joke and bit on that, but I was like, yeah.
Usually, like when we go on holiday and stuff, like vacation, the majority of photos, it's like we're taking pictures of stuff. And I'll snap a couple of pictures of the wife. We usually try to take 1 or 2 selfies. And I think it's more to just remember what we looked like at that time.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious to look back now. Like we post-COVID, we did our trip up to Everett, Washington and went and visited Funko. And I had my crazy ass COVID beard. And she's like, I can't believe I dated that guy. I was like, I can't believe you did either. You looked insane.
You know what? I think it's okay in reason, I guess. But it just seemed to me that some people, that's all they were doing was taking a selfie to put themselves between the camera and the art. So the art is no longer what you're capturing. You're capturing yourself in front of something that you think gives you internet clout.
Yeah, see, in that part, it's like, take a picture of yourself on the steps going up and into MoMA, not in front of the artwork.
Or some of the stuff that's designed to be interactive art. Maybe do it that way. But like, I don't want to see a picture of you guys standing in front of the Starry Night. I want to see the Starry Night. And it's cool for you guys to be like, I was there and stuff like that. But that's not what people want to see. I couldn't give 2 shits about any of the people that were standing in front of that painting. I wanted to see the painting.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's our unfortunate social media generations now that they grew up with it.
I don't know. Some of the other stuff I got into while I was there, went to the Nintendo store. I think I talked about that in pre-show. It was fun and interesting to see. Went to a couple bookstores because they're bigger chain bookstores. Had some authentic New York bagels because bagels are awesome. There's probably other stuff I'm missing. I had a blast. I was friggin' exhausted. We got back home. We flew back into the airport at like 5:45 yesterday, got home at like 7:30. And then I was like, I just need to get some rest because then the alarm went off to go to work at like 6 a.m. the next morning. And I was like, back in the grind. And I was like, I just got to get back in the mindset to do this stuff. And I will fully admit it was the first hour and a half or so was rough until I caved and was like, I'm going to pause from reading all my email and I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to just savor my coffee while I read all of the email that I've got and make notes of what it is I need to do versus sitting there in panic and going, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. I can't believe I missed this. Oh shit. Stuff
but
like
at least
that.
you didn't have to walk all those steps there.
I mean, you're not kidding. I think if I checked my watch today, I'd be in at like 2,000 steps versus I think 19,000 I had yesterday from all the places I walked around in New York before we went to the airport. And then all of the walking in the airport because they'd moved our gate on us like to the other end of the terminal 2 hours before takeoff. They're like, you're moved to here. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Like they literally picked up the gate and moved it?
Yes. A giant came in and picked up the gate and was like, it's over here now, bitch.
That's what I was doing that day. I forgot for a bit. You're welcome.
But that's what I'm getting into. I had a blast on that stuff. I'm sure there's stuff I'm forgetting that I'll talk about in the future. But let's finish things up with what Mr. Willie Nelson's been getting into. What you been doing, buddy?
I just want to talk about one thing. Just
Uh-oh.
one thing. I got a little bit of the bug that bit me. A little bit of bug bit me, and I got a little bit of decorating for what's coming up. And you know what's coming up? The best holiday of the year. That's right, Halloween. October's the best month. You got fall, you got Halloween, you got the weather. It's all great. Spooky season is the best. I didn't get this is not one of my ideas. I saw this on an Instagram reel, which they probably got it from somewhere else, and they probably got it from somewhere else, and they probably got it from somewhere else. But I decided to make my own little spooky cauldron skeleton bathtub candle. So, boom, got a nice little cauldron.
It is cool looking.
Makes of wax,
Heck
and
yeah.
he can wave hi at you. Hey.
I did not know his arm moved.
That's great.
These are like cheap skeletons I found at like a Party City, and they're just like movable, bendable little skeletons, and then got them in their little wax. So yeah, that's the only thing I've been wanting to talk about is made some nice little decorating thing, and you can do this too.
I can connect that to the one thing I forgot. Well, I went out to go get lights at Lowe's last night and realized that there was an entire section of Halloween stuff, all from the Wednesday Netflix show.
Oh.
She literally has her own section of Halloween stuff. Like they had all sorts of stand-up, literally a stand-up full-size character doing the dance from the prom episode, all the way down to like little stuffed animals of her and her roommate. I forgot we went and saw Jenna Ortega in Beetlejuice.
Oh,
really
nice.
Good. Worst scene in the theater. And I think they were smart. It's not a ton of Beetlejuice. It's just like the first movie. He's in the parts where he needs to be. And that's why he's funny.
I was promised in the title that there would be double the amount of Beetlejuice in this movie.
More Beetlejuice, but it is not double the amount of Beetlejuice.
I was promised in the fine writing. It definitely says Beetlejuice. That's twice more than the original. Fight me.
It's worth seeing in the theater. It's a funny ass movie.
That's
it was
fair.
really good.
I'll agree with that.
I really liked it.
Anything else you've been getting into, Willie, as we finish up?
I said one thing, and
the skeletons in a bowl.
I wanted to make sure you hadn't changed your mind at all.
Listen, I had to go out and get this skeleton from out my closet, and I wanted to show you all.
We appreciate it for taking the skeletons out of your closet, because that's where everyone's skeletons are.
For the joke, that's why it was in my closet. It came out. I appreciated him, and I gave him, said, I'm with you, man. I'm an ally through and through with you.
All right.
On that note, then we are going to start shutting things down. A friendly reminder before we shut down the show that we do stream it live every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern over at GonnaGeek.com/live. That is the streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. If you're there right now, please, we encourage you to go check out some of the other podcasts on the site. Give them a listen and let them know that we sent you. Before we shut this thing down, do you guys have any final thoughts for the people? Anything?
Decorate for Halloween more, because I want to see more spooky stuff. You do it for Christmas every year. And I got issues with that because it's too cold outside. I want to go out when it's nice. Nice when the leaves are changing. Give me a reason to go walk around in the nice weather. Do it.
Fall's the best season, and it's the best season anyways.
It is. Fall.
Fight me.
We need more Halloween decorations for sure. I get sad when only like 5 of my neighbors decorate for Halloween.
And Willie's going to fight them if they don't all decorate for Halloween.
All right.
Thank you.
He's going to get those brass knucks out, and he's just going to start punching people.
He's got a lot of fighting coming up then.
Yep. Willie's the king of fighting.
What was it called? Oh, yeah. I'll just go find a loose seal.
I figured he's going to do the next season of fighting around the world. It's going to be Willie. For people who don't decorate for Halloween, he's going to fight people around the world. Like Russell Crowe.
I like it. This is now my idea. I came up with it. I'm the originator. I'm doing it.
Okay. I hope you give us an update on it next week on your plans to fight around the world.
I might be calling from jail.
I'm going to forget that we talked about it because it was just a dumb joke that has now taken a life of its own.
That's what happens.
Hey, these characters, they run. There's a whole church for Reverend Willie.
Excuse me, a what?
Bye, guys. See you next week.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at GonnaGeek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@GonnaGeek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at Incompetech.com.